Hello, everyone, and welcome to our new Lumio Live. I'm so excited to be here today, and I've got a new friend joining me. If you haven't met Alex yet, Alex is one of our education solutions consultants, and she lives in Chicago. Want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Alex Sophia. I am in Chicago right now. I will be in Ann Arbor tomorrow, helping school districts there. But I have been in education for over 20 years, and I am happy to join today. I'm excited about all the new AI features.
Thanks for coming to hang out with us. Like I mentioned at our last Lumio Live, the goal for Lumio Lives this school year is we're going to have different folks from all over Smart, maybe some ambassadors using Lumio Visit for each of our different lives. And so today we're really excited to talk to you about AI Assist. So if you missed our last live or the back to school bash last week, what you did miss is that Lumio now has AI Assist and it's available for everyone. So whether you're a free or standard user, you have AI Assist and you can generate up to 5 times in one day. Or if you're one of our Spark subscribers, you have unlimited amounts of times that you can generate AI Assist. And we're really pumped about it. So let me quickly come on over here. And there are three different areas in Lumio that you can find it. And before I really dive into it, what I want everyone to know is that it is totally optional if you want to use AI Assist or not. So when you do open it up, and I'm going to show you where you find it live time in just a few minutes, you can still generate your own. You do not have to use the AI assist that's not required, but I love it because I just think it's such a good time saver and it comes up with such great, robust questions. Alex, you had a really great idea that you were sharing with me before we got live. So when we start to demo, I'd love for you to tell us your example.
Of
But
course.
there's three different ways you can find it. So the first one is our response feature. So when you go to your new menu, click on response. Historically, that was just our live time quiz based feature. And now if you miss that update, you can now do it asynchronously, which is really great for independent work that comes out graded or homework, anything like that. And then also our monster quiz and team quiz also have the ability to use that AI assist feature as well. All three of these functions, response, monster quiz, and team quiz, give you the ability to export student results, which is such a feedback a gift of, wow, I can't even English today. Feedback is such a gift because right away you're able to guide your next teaching practices. So that's just one of my favorite ways to do it. And so before we jump in, we had this really great comment. And if you're not part of our Lumio Educators Facebook group yet, it's a great place to come to share ideas, hear about all these updates. Like I just named 3 or 4 different updates that we have. All those get announced in our Facebook group. And we had this really great teacher that commented on here that used Monster Quiz to create a quiz to review social studies vocabulary. She used it to generate 10 multiple choice questions. They were, she felt they were appropriate. They were really learning focused. And she didn't have to edit them, which you do still have the ability to edit. So let's dive in and I'll show you where you can find it. So I'm going to pop out of my session here. I'm going to go to my library and I'm going to click on new. And so again, you'll find it in response and then in game based, you'll find it in monster quiz and team quiz. But I'm going to go to response here. And then you'll notice it jumps right to me generating from AI Assist. But if you don't want to use it, that's okay. You still have the ability to go ahead and generate your own. But from here, with response, you have the ability to do all different kinds of questions. We'll do multiple choice. I'm going to do a grade 12. And as I'm putting in my example, Alex, can you share what you shared with me before we hopped on the live?
Yeah. So I have a 13-year-old daughter, and a lot of the times when I play around with Lumio, I try to find either middle school or high school types of questions or games or responses or formative assessments. So this morning we were looking at physics and we were looking at the physics of roller coasters. So I went in and created a response assessment for the physics of roller coasters, and I used the Illinois standards. So I did not use a specific Common Core or any of the specific standards that I normally would use. I just chose a state. And then I chose advanced because I really wanted to challenge my daughter. And then it came up with 5 different questions. I was able to choose how she responded. I could choose multiple choice, or I even thought the really fun one was just the poll. That was sort of interesting. If you're, if you were doing a sort of projects-based assessment, that was kind of fun too.
I love that. Again, no matter what grade it is that you teach, we just had that comment that someone left on Facebook. She did it for 4th grade vocabulary. We have Alex generating some physics, specifically in relation to roller coasters. I just put in a grade 12 question here to compare the themes in Hamlet, Great Gatsby, Handmaid's Tale. I did generate one this morning with another teacher, and we did a parts of speech lesson. And with another
Yeah.
teacher, we did three digit subtraction with regrouping. You can give it any prompt and it comes up with great questions. So I put my question in here or my prompt. I picked my grade. I could pick the standard. So again, you can do your national standards, you could do your state standards. Once you do that, you can also pick a strand and then the level of question. So I'm going to do mixed and then I'll click generate. And then once it's done, what's really important to know is this is always my example activity. Shout out to Shay, who's our educations consultant from Canada. I got this prompt from her. Her and I always are using this prompt, and every time I put it in, I get totally different questions. So
That's
once
the
it's done
benefit.
generating, yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
it saves us so much time. Like, let's say, Alex, I did this quiz today,
Yeah.
and maybe we didn't do so well. Tomorrow, I can generate a new one with that same prompt, and now my students have different abilities to continue to demonstrate their knowledge.
I also liked how you could add an image. So I loved how you could just click on add an image for some of those learners who need a little bit of an extra support so they can see what the topic is. I liked that as well.
I love that. There's so many different ways you'll notice, just like Alex is saying, I can still go in here and I can edit the question. I can edit the responses or the options. I can go through all of them if I wanted. I can come back here and then generate even 5 more in case I wanted this now to be a 10 question quiz. Just a reminder, if you are one of our free or standard users, you can generate up to 5 times in one day. And for our Spark, you do get unlimited. So this is super easy. All I'm going to do is click next. And this was that update that was in response. It doesn't have to be a live in class quiz anymore. It can also be graded independent work. So I can do independent or live in class. I can title it, give some
I love
instructions,
that.
and
It's
it's
such a good
done.
update.
It's so awesome. We had so many teachers, Alex, that were asking us like, "Hey, I want to give homework and I don't want to have to sit there and grade it,"
Yeah.
because right away you sent them home to do homework for a reason, right? For them to practice, and then
Yeah.
you get that feedback immediately, and now you know exactly, "Hey, I'm coming in this morning.
Yep.
Let me take a look at the results and see if I can make any strategic groups or exactly what it is I need to review with my students, or are we ready to move forward?"
I love it.
It's so easy. So now that I'm done, I might, name this our English quiz. Maybe this is for period one. I could also go into audio and add in some audio instructions. I saved so much time.
Yeah.
And now I just a really quick thing about like doing quizzes online. I've shared this story before, but I had a lot of teachers that I was working with in the spring that were saying, "Hey, like I like paper and pencil. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you like to do it online?" And then another teacher actually that was sitting by me interrupted and said, "A lot of our standardized testing in the spring now is on the computer." And I
Yeah.
realized that my students didn't have the same fluency reading on a computer as they did on paper. And so it was
Yes.
really good practice for them. And I realized the opposite for myself. I'm a huge reader and I used to love holding a real book, but with how much
Me
I
too.
travel, I've turned into a Kindle reader. Alex and I were
Yeah. I
talking about
know.
this.
Yes. Yeah.
Fun fact about Alex, she reads like 3 different books. She has like one real book, she has one
Yep.
Kindle, and then a Kindle app on her phone.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Alex, which I learned a
Yes.
few weeks ago, but I realized I read faster now on technology, which is just really awesome. So now
Mm-hmm.
that I'm done, I'm just going to go ahead and click finish editing. And I have the ability to deliver that live in class or click on assign new. And I can
Yeah.
do that with my students, post it in their Google Classroom, email it to them to work on for homework, independent practice, or if they were absent. Alex, what do you think?
I think it's amazing. I also love one more little thing that I loved. I loved the group when you go into the games. The group games I thought were really fun because you could actually formulate specific teams. So I thought that was just a fun, like, end of unit way to really review the content that you've been teaching in class throughout the week. I love that part of it as
There's
well.
so many different ways that we can give our students the opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge, to gamify their learning, to really
Love
create
that.
that low stakes environment. I love it. Well,
Yeah,
Alex, thank you so much for hanging out with me during this week's Lumio
of
Live.
course.
And thanks
Yeah.
everyone that logged in live time with us today. Make sure you follow us across social media. We have our Instagram handles there, and make sure you also follow Lumio Social. Come up
Yeah.
in our Facebook group, Lumio Educators, where we're posting endless amount of updates like this AI assist. Well, thanks everyone, and see you next time.
Bye. Thanks for letting me join.